I am still like, I mean, you know how I feel about these types of things. It really hurts my feelings.
Because they're kids, and they don't deserve that.
Yeah, and you know, it's like you sit up here and have kids with people, and for whatever reason, I don't even think they've gotten to the point where they have a confession from them yet or not. I don't believe.
Yeah.
But you know, we won't get into that right now. That's a really sad situation. I really feel for that little boy. He shouldn't have had to go through that. And I really hope the parents are either get beat up in jail or you kill your own kid.
Mm-hmm.
There's really no point of you still being on this earth. And please don't waste my tax dollars housing
taking care of you. That's right.
You know, that's my personal opinion. I'm going to stick by it. Yeah. They just don't deserve it. They're really not deserving. Anyway, some of you baby mamas ain't deserving either. So,
true.
You know, it really boils down to you need to figure out who you sitting up here trying to have a kid with before you have a kid. Because if you're going to go around talking all this smack about, you know, they're not this and that,
mm-hmm.
you know, right. You have to remember you made the conscious choice
to have this kid.
To have a kid with this individual. So if they're not going to do their job, that doesn't mean that you don't do yours, number one, or that you have to down talk them, you know, in front of the kids either. You got to figure out how to come to some common ground. Now, what I also think is a huge problem with baby mamas as well is when these guys enter into another relationship and then you have baby mama drama between the baby mama and the new chick.
Yeah. Well, I think sometimes these new chicks are overstepping their bounds.
But, you know,
to an extent.
It can be to an extent, but when you're not doing anything, like you like me for no reason whatsoever, you don't even know me, but your anger is directed towards me, the baby mama, instead of, I mean, not the baby mama, the new girlfriend or the new wife.
Well,
instead of him, who, you know what I'm saying? And furthermore, why are you directing any type of anger
towards anybody? But I do have to say, I would feel kind of like that if the new wife or whatever, all of a sudden, since you're with this chick,
mm-hmm.
now she can encourage you all day to hang out with your kid,
mm-hmm.
but to me, don't interfere. Don't get into it, and don't you try to be the new mama.
Right.
But a lot of times, these new chicks try to do that.
True. I mean,
new chicks, new dudes try to do that. And I personally feel, and here you go, I'm going to say the baby mama drama. And it's drama, but this was drama with the kid. And I think I shared that with you. It's like he was trying to push, she can help you, she can help you, she can help you to his daughter by the other person. She didn't want my help. And I said, don't push it. I want her to feel like she can always be here. Okay, that's great. She can be that way. But when you start giving me an attitude as a kid, guess what? That's I don't do nothing. When I fix dinner, you come fix your plate because I'm not doing it.
That's a different
I know that's a different topic, but that's sometimes why you have that.
What if they build a relationship with the child and the child likes the new wife girlfriend?
Well,
and they build a relationship so strong enough to.
I know, but I don't feel that. I don't know how to put that. I don't see anything wrong with building a relationship, but I guess that comes in the kids part too. But as a kid, don't come back telling your mom about that because she don't want to hear that. I really would have to say that. Don't come back telling your mom about that because she doesn't want to hear that. She does.
But see, here's my thing. Here's my thing about that. Because I do sit in this seat, I feel that if... So one time, I sent the kids to Florida.
Okay.
I got my kids returned. One of them had a scar on her forehead. I told you about this. Had a scar on her forehead. I got my kid back. What is this right here? What's that? Miss so-and-so burned me with the curling iron.
And you don't but you don't feel that's exactly what I'm saying.
Hold on now. I pumped the brakes, turned around from the direction of the airport, and came back. Why does my kid have a burn? So he should have told me that in the beginning. What happened?
Right, but he shouldn't have let. I don't care what you said.
Here's the thing.
He shouldn't have let her do that.
I agree.
And in that instance, you should have. You should be mad at her.
Here's the thing. I want to be able to, of course, if this was present day, if their dad were still living, if he had a new girlfriend or if he had a wife, that I feel comfortable enough for you to go there and you feel comfortable enough to be there.
Now see
same vice versa.
Well, that's where if I were you, if you want to visit these kids, you come up here to do it. Because I'm with
someone and they have children, I want your mothers to feel, comfortable enough with me to say, "Oh yeah, they're going with her today. It's no problem. She's fine." You should understand that I'm going to take care of your kids the way I would take care of mine, and that should be vice versa. If I send my kids with their dad and you're there too, it should be all this should be looking like is you put a mask on, but you operating like me. That's how I feel as far as, and I think that's why a lot of people insert themselves, but they don't know fully how to insert themselves in that situation. They don't understand you have to build a relationship with this kid first. That may take some time. It may take a week if you guys are great. It may take a month. It may take a year. It may take 10 years. You don't know. But until you have that relationship with the child, no, you can't insert yourself like their own mother or their own father would insert yourself. You have to know how to go along doing
question,
that. Now,
why is there an attitude to it? Just for that, you burnt my kid in the head. Do you think that's not going to...
Exactly.
That, boom, right there, not even about him. Why in the beep would you have even attempted to do my kid's hair? Did you call and ask both of you?
I'm coming at the both of you. You should have corrected that situation before I even got here. And you should have told me before I got there. That's number one.
You should have called. Mine would have been, you should have called me before you even thought you were going to do something to their hair. Period. And then when I said no, leave it alone.
I agree. And that's what I'm saying. He should have taken care of that situation. Instead of allowing her to do the hair. Because I don't even know if she... if he said, yeah, go ahead and do their hair, or she took it upon herself to do it. But I think they were only like, 3 and 4 or something like that when they went?
That's what I'm saying. For me, and that's why I said I would have nipped this in the bud. You want to see these kids, you need to come here. Period. That's the only way that's going to happen until they get old enough to fend for themselves.
That is true. But of course, I'm not trying to be like the typical baby mom. Like, you need to. I was trying to work with him instead of against him. But after that, I'm like, clearly, I can't work with you because you're not about to be, Because at that point, I will be in jail. I'd be behind bars. I wouldn't care. Not today. Not with my kids. You will not. But I think, like you're saying, inserting themselves, they're not understanding when to insert themselves as the co-parent. We'll use that in this, the co-parent in this situation. Because they haven't built that relationship. But when the actual mom, the baby mama is, you can't just have anger towards that person. I think that's where it comes from initially. It's because they've got someone else and it's not you. Okay. I don't feel that it starts with they're overstepping their bounds, because in my opinion too, and I treat all the kids this way. I don't care who your mom or daddy is. If you're with me in my presence, this is how we operate. You're not going to be disrespectful. You're not going to be rude. You're not going to do stuff out of character or out of order, because I'm going to have to snatch you up here and then I'm telling on you. That's just how it works. True. I'm not going to let you get away with just whatever you feel like doing. But some people don't. And that's too bad. Then don't leave your kids around me. That's how that goes. Yeah. Don't leave your kids around me.
Well, I guess, and that was like, not to bring her and her thing into what is that, the red table thing with
red table talk
with Jada and them, and she kind of did overstep her situation.
Correct. And that's because what did she not do? She didn't build a relationship. You see this? Check this out.
Right, but I'm
giving y'all quality advice.
But I do agree. But like you said, he corrected the situation. He corrected the situation and said, "Hey, this is the mother. This is his mom."
And so he should. But see, this is what's not happening with all of these messed up situations. You got two people going back and forth at each other, and then somebody gets somebody else. Now they're angry at that new person that just stepped in who knows nothing.
Right, but if the baby mom had actually said, I really don't want you interacting with them, how would you do it anyway?
Don't want me interacting. So that's where, we would all have to come sit down and talk together. Let's say, for example, I'm only the girlfriend. I'm not overstepping bounds because what if I'm not here in 6 months, a year?
Right.
What if we're, if we're not married? Then, hey, then we'll have to set some different boundaries. Once it comes to the marriage part, then we go to another set of boundaries because that's a whole different ballgame right there. If you're married in this situation, then, that's when you have to go to phase 2.
But you
have to go to phase 2 because if you're going to be in my household, it's like you have to understand this is still a child. I don't care whose child it is, and this is the same expectation that I have for my kids. If you go to someone else's house, you follow their rules.
I guess this is and this is where you and I differ, because I would say I don't care if we're married or not. No. She's not telling them what to do because that's not her mom. Because I know I always used to have the scenario. I said, if something ever happened to mom and dad, I was going to tell them straight up, that's your wife. That ain't my mama, and I'm not listening to anything they have to say. That's your wife. That's your husband. Do not.
That is definitely where we differ.
Right.
It would definitely have to depend on the character of the person as well.
No, it wouldn't.
If they're walking around here acting like Cinderella's stepmom, then we're definitely going to have some problems. She's going to have to come up missing. But if you're not someone who's trying to cause me harm or do any type of ill will towards me, we can find some common ground to work on.
But I guess, for me that didn't matter. It's like, you ain't my mom and you ain't my daddy, so I don't have to listen to you. You're not a teacher or somebody who's giving me instructions.
I think it's different because we're in two different situations. You are in a marriage where you guys have kids together. I'm not. I'm in a whole different relationship where he's got his own kids. I have my own kids. And then trying to form that together is a lot more difficult than just saying to do it. The actual work of that is more...
But I'm serious. What would you do if she truly said, that's great, that can be your wife, but I don't want you to have anything to do with my kids? Because again, that is...
Well, and it's nothing... That would be a whole issue, a whole problem that, like I said, we would all have to sit down and discuss this. I'm here, I'm not going anywhere.
Would you respect their mom, because that's their mom and that's not your kid?
I don't know.
So in the same, and I would have been like, which it boiled down to me, but that was her choice. That's fine. Then that's your deal to deal with. That's not my deal.
But it's different if the kid liked me.
Okay.
Then that would be different. I would be like, no, I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm sorry. Because if I'm here to stay, no, we're cool. I'm like, don't worry about it. We just don't tell your mom nothing. I don't know. I haven't been presented with that situation, so I don't know how I would truly, honestly be able to answer that. But I'm not saying I just go around not liking kids or whatever, because I don't.
Here you go.
I don't know. And if we had a strained relationship, then I would be like, yep, hands off. I'm not. You handle that. But I feel as though, if. And then most kids like me for the most part. I like kids. I work well with them.
And like I said, going back to the one episode, I'm not saying that these people don't like you for you, because I do think you're amazing too. But I personally feel that
I don't think so.
I know you don't think so.
I don't think so.
Because you have a good relationship with kids, whether you're trying to beat them or not, because they're doing wrong, but they understand that and they get to grips with that. And I personally feel after they got to know you, that was the situation.
I do. Also, I wouldn't even go in to it with any malice,
or should I say it was a bonus?
Harm the kid.
Should I say it was a bonus? Because in the end.
So here, how about this? Any of y'all that have dated me, please let me know. Did you only date me because this is what my sister feels? Did any of you just date me because I was a good caretaker or mother figure, and you felt as though I could take care of your kids? We need to get this straightened out.
I don't feel that was the initial, but I do feel in the end, oh my gosh, this is a bonus, because I just personally, like I said, also, people showed up to my house and I'm like, how are you here? And why are you here? After I specifically told her, please don't bring these people to my house, and then bam, there they are.
Simmer down. Let's also look at it this way. If someone presented themselves as to not be a good dad, I wouldn't want you around my kids either. I would have to figure that out. Like,
but I noticed I noticed you had their kids more than ever than I ever saw they had yours. You had their kids.
But see, and that's something of my doing that I do. I don't purposely send my kids with other people.
Right.
Because I know how my kids are, number one. I don't want to have to act out of character, number two.
But that's why I said I feel that's where the taking advantage of ish